Hey everybody, welcome in here. Last week we did a video and we just called it Friday Fire, and just a little thought that I had while I was out here cooking something. And most of you that know me know I love to be outside and love to be cooking something outside. And we got a lot of response, a lot of positive response, and so we're going to try to do those more often. And so I want to bring you another one here, another Friday Fire. And last week, of course, was Easter, and so I want to kind of reflect back on that in more ways than one. One thing that we're doing today is we had some ham for Easter, and of course, with our family of four, we didn't eat all of it, and so you probably didn't either. We're trying to think, what can we do with that leftover ham for this time or any other time? And so we're trying an experiment. It may go south or it may be delicious. We don't know. We took some boneless, skinless chicken breasts and we got them on the smoker, and then we put the leftover ham and some provolone cheese, kind of layered that on top of there, almost like a chicken Cordon Bleu kind of meal. And so we're going to try that, see how it goes. But I do want to give you a thought, share a thought with you, also reflecting back on Easter. And my thought is this: the hardest prayer to pray requires the highest faith. And so I want to go back to Easter. And of course, everybody is very familiar with the Easter story, I'm sure. But the part that I want to kind of single in on today is Jesus, the disciples, they had their Last Supper, and then they go to the Garden of Gethsemane. And of course, Jesus tells his disciples, you all watch and pray. I'm going to go a little further. And he prays. And this is what his prayer was. And keep in mind that Jesus has what we call the dual nature of Christ. And that is, he was 100% flesh and bone, just like you and I. It says he was always tempted like we were. He got hungry, he got tired. At Lazarus' tomb, he cried. So he had the human nature, but he also had the deity that was in him, the Spirit of God that was in him. And that's how he knew. Like when he goes to the woman at the well, and he tells her, you not only are you not married, you've been married 5 times, and you're living with somebody that you're not married to now. He knows those things because of the deity. And so he has that dual nature. And so we find here at the garden kind of a pinnacle of these two natures. And because of his deity, he knows what's coming. He knows Calvary is coming. He knows the cross is coming. But in his flesh, he knows the pain that's going to be involved. He knows the agony that's going to be involved. And so he finds a place to pray, and his prayer is, Father, if it is your will, let this cup pass from me. I don't want to have to do this. I don't want to have to go through this. And we are all human nature. We're so good at praying for things that we want, praying for things that we need, praying for things out of our own desires. But Jesus' prayer that night goes to another level. It goes to a higher level in faith. And it's a harder prayer to pray when he says, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but your will be done. And we know how to go to God in prayer. We know how to ask God for things that we need, for things that we want. We know how to ask him to take care of situations and resolve circumstances. But I want to kind of just give this thought to you today, that there's always that higher realm of faith where we can say, not my will, but your will be done. And what that does, the reason it takes a higher level of faith is because that relinquishes my control. That says, God, even though I want this, even though I need this, you know better than I do. And your plan for me is greater than my plan for me. And my desires for me, not as good as your desires for me. And so it takes a higher level of faith. And so I just wanted to leave that thought with you today, that kind of be conscious of that when you're praying, that it takes that higher level of faith to just release that, to let go of it and say, God, this is what I want, this is what I need. But I'm in a place right now where I'm going to say, God, I trust you so much, and I have so much faith in you, that I'm going to say, God, whatever your will is surpasses what my will is. And so I just want to leave that thought with you. I hope that lights a little fire under you. But before we go, I want to come show you this chicken that we got working here. Take a look in there and see what you think. some chicken breast, some leftover ham, some provolone cheese, and we're going to taste it and see how good it is. Thank you all for joining in. God bless you. See you next time.